See, this is how easy today's move is. Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a very sunny morning here in East Texas. Today we just got the cows moved and now we're going to show you my way of getting rid of this stuff. That's goat weed. That's what we call it around here. Some people call it Woolly Croton, sheepweed, or whatever. All different parts of the country call it something different. But that stuff right there, very invasive. Now you ask any typical rancher around here, what's the best way to get rid of it? They're going to say all the same thing. Spray, 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 spray. Don't want to do that. We're not doing that here. I'm not going to do it. Why? It's not good for the ground. It's not good for the animals. It's not good for us. It's chemical. It's not natural. So if it doesn't happen in nature, then you probably aren't supposed to do it. As you can see, the cows are over in that paddock now. You can kind of see where they've been. Actually, you can really see it. They've trampled a lot of the goat weed. Look at this. They've trampled it. Why? Because we keep them in a smaller paddock. For right now, we're still learning the grass. This paddock was 3 days. This is what 3 days looks like. We're not going to keep them here more than 4 days because then grass starts to grow. Because then the grass starts to grow back more, and it'll stunt it. But we kept them here 3 days because we're still learning what they're eating, how much they're eating. I could probably section this one off into thirds. I might do that in the next paddock if this one can produce 3 days as well. Now, back to the goat weed. A lot of it around here is trampled, which is a great thing. That means that as long as the stem's broken, then it's gonna die. It's gonna die. Like this stuff right here, you can totally tell that I don't necessarily have to come through and do anything with this. Why? Because the cows did it for me. We're partners in that. Okay, this stuff here is still standing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come through and get. Look, so the cows did a fairly good job on getting rid of it themselves. Look at this. Totally see that. Completely snapped off. Why? Because a cow stepped on it or moved over it or something. Great. Makes my job easier. Some of this over here, still standing. Don't want that to, it's about to go to seed. Don't want it to go to seed and reseed itself next year. So, we want to make it look like this. This is the paddock that they were in a couple days ago, and I came through and helped them. All down there by the gate. All goat weed. Now, no goat weed. So how am I doing it? And that is with my handy dandy scythe. Yeah, it's like 100 years old, but you know what? It still works. Why did I get it 100 years old? Because there's only like one other company that makes it now. It's gonna take them like 6 to 8 weeks to get it to me. I think they're based out of New Zealand. But found an old one just on Facebook Marketplace. Cost me like, I think it was like 35 bucks. Got 2 of them for 70 actually. Some people are gonna say that I'm crazy for doing this. We have 30 acres here. Are you really going to scythe all 30 acres? Yeah, I am. Am I going to do it all at one time? Absolutely not. You see, trying to do all this is only about half the property here, at one shot is just pure stupidity. I mean, you'll kill yourself doing it like this. You want to go one day and say, you know what, I'm spending, I don't know, Thursday and taking care of goat weed and just scything it all. No, that ain't gonna work. Why? Because you only have so much energy and you'll end up hating it after the first 3 hours. Oh my gosh. So what I'm doing is partnering with the cows and going behind them just to the paddock that they were in the day that I move them and come through and take care of all the goat weed. Now the paddock that they're in this year is smidgen over half an acre. It's a smidgen over half an acre. So it's about 75 feet wide and between 300 and 350 feet long. So I come through here and it's going to take me, I don't know, maybe 10-20 minutes just to do this half acre. But I don't have to do it every day. You see, the key to this is to do small sections every day, or in this case, every day that the cows move. And guess what? You'll get done with it. If you try and knock it out in one day, it ain't going to happen. And then, you know, then you say, oh no, then you know I can come back in day number 2 or 3. Do you really think you're going to come back in day 2 or 3 doing something that you got sore over doing, you're miserable doing, and it just wasn't fun? No. But you can do that for 10, 20, even maybe even 30 minutes in a bad paddock like we have right over there, to where we can go and take out all this goat weed. Now, the reason that I'm scything it, okay, I'm not coming through with our mower, big reason. It is October right now, and I'm trying to save the grass. See, this is grass that they've been on for 3 days, and guess what? There's still a lot. Look at that. There's still a lot standing. Why? Because that's just what we're doing with the cows, and that's what rotational grazing, moving every day, does. Okay? I don't want to waste this grass. If I were to come through with the mower we have only goes up 4 inches. We're going to take off a lot of the grass. Sure, will we get all the goat weed? Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to take all the grass with it, because this is going to be important when real winter hits. We're going to have to move them back through here, and they'll be able to eat on this in their winter time. It'll just be basically standing hay. Now, if I were to come through with the mower, it'd be gone. So we just go where we follow the cows, because they make it easier, because they'll eat down all around the goat weed. And we come and slice it off. Real simple. And there's not that much. I mean, some paddocks there's more than others, but you know what? It's really not that much. It's really not that hard. So we're doing this to try and save the winter grass. 2, we're doing this to where the regrowth here is going to be able to smother out any goat weed that tries to come up now and between now and our first frost, which is probably about 3-4 weeks away. We could technically have a frost now, but it doesn't look like it, because it's been pretty warm this year. And when you look at the next 2 weeks of forecasts, it's not going to get below, you know, high 40s at night. And for those of you that think I'm joking, I'm really not. Just come through, boom, done. Just a little bit every day is what will make this look like the best pasture around without having to spray. And that's the main thing for me, is I don't want to spray. Look at this one right here. We're going to go whack. Oh, missed it. Gone. It's not that hard. This goat weed is actually pretty easy to pull up. So we just do it a little bit every day, and guess what? It'll be gone. That's the key to anything. Consistency every day rather than big spurts. You know, the tortoise and the hare kind of thing. And you know what? While I'm doing this, I'm not only getting the goat weed, I'm getting anything that the cows don't like or that they don't eat. Because there's like, I don't know if you guys can see this, there's some of these, I don't even know what they are. They're like wannabe little bushes, and the longhorns eat the tips and they just leave the stalks. The Angus Charolais crosses don't even eat them. That's why I like the longhorns, because they will go and eat just about anything. But the stems and the base and everything, they're still there. So I just come through the scythe, take it out, no problem. Now, am I doing this correctly? There's probably a better way to do the scythe, more technical way, but you know what? This works for me, gets rid of the goat weed, so I'm happy. I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see goat weed, it likes to grow in like round patches. And since we've only been here going on 7 months now, I can't tell you this for sure, but I bet you, if I had to put money on it, that a round bale of hay was fed here last winter. They went and put the hay ring here, put the round bale inside, and the cows ate around it for I don't know how long. Now, why do I say that? Because goat weed, let's take a look at this one. I'll pull it. Has pretty big, pretty strong tap roots like that, like this, okay? And what that tells me is that what the goat weed's telling me is that the soil here is very compacted. So that leads me to believe that a round bale of hay, because it's in a circle, was fed here. So will doing what I'm doing with the scythe just alone help the goat weed not grow back? No. What you have to do is do things that's not going to compact the soil, like feeding a round bale of hay there and just leaving it there all winter. Why? Because I bet you anything, next spring, next summer, you're going to get a whole lot of this stuff. Why? Because you're creating an environment for it to grow. It likes hard, compacted soil. But it's also one of the reasons why I like the goat weed to a degree, because it's telling me, hey, Ryan, there's a problem right here. So you know what? We come through, take it out, and we make sure that we don't do anything in this spot to compact the soil anymore. Now, we don't want to compact the soil anyways, so that's why we're going to be feeding hay in a different style. There's 2 different styles that I'm thinking of right now. Don't know which one we're going to go with. Depends on how bad the winter is, if we even have to feed hay, because we still got a ton of grass here. In combination of what we're doing with moving the cows every day, that's how we're building the soil up. You see, we're leaving a lot of grass here which they've trampled. It's adding organic matter back to the soil, so you know what, it's gonna build up, build up, build up. And you know what, talk to me in 5-10 years, we're gonna have percentages different in organic matter in our soil, and if not sooner. You know, this might not be the quickest way to do this, but you know what, I think it's going to be the most effective. And then most days when I'm not filming a video, what I'll do is when I'm out here doing this, I'll put in my headphones and listen to an audiobook. So you know what, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. I love doing that because it makes the time go by a lot faster. Or just throw on some music and swing away. You know what, I think this method would even work with dog fennel. See, we just come here, chop it off, and it is all gone. You see this giant foxtail right here? The cows didn't eat this because this is my fault. Normally they'd go crazy over it, but when it gets too mature, they just don't like it and they don't eat it. If I would have brought them back when they was down here, oh, this thing would be completely gone. But don't really want this all standing up. There's no really use for it. They're not going to eat it in the wintertime. So come here with the scythe and come and chop the majority of it down. So I know the scythe experts out there are probably going to criticize me like crazy for my swing of the scythe. You're probably not supposed to step when you swing it. I've played baseball my entire life. It's the only way I know. It's probably why I suck at golf. So I just come here, step, swing, step, swing. Bat drop, done. So I know most people are gonna think that I'm crazy for doing it like this. And you know what, you might just be right. But you know what, every time people tell me that I'm crazy, it usually works out for me. Ryan, you're not gonna go to college, you're gonna start your own business at 18 years old, you're crazy. Ryan, you're gonna move away from Southern California, you're crazy. Ryan, you're gonna start a farm, you're crazy. Every time it works out for me. And you know what, this time I suspect it's not gonna be much different because this is working. Check it out. Check this out. Over there is where we got the goat weed a couple days ago. Here's where we got it today. Check this out. Look how nice it looks. Look, fence line, looking much, much, much better. Over here, goat weed. Not gonna get it today, why? Because it's on the cow side of the fence. It's not on my side of the fence yet. It's not my turn to get it. See, stop directly right there. You have to, or else, you know what, you're just gonna go, oh, it's right there, I'm gonna get it. No, it's about principle, just not getting all of it. Look at this, it's gone. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Look how pretty that looks. One side, cows ate down. I came through and got rid of the goat weed. This side, the cows are currently eating down, and I'll go back behind them and get the goat weed later. Look at this though. It's insane. How nice, how pretty it looks. It looks like a park. This is what you'd call picturesque. This still standing a little bit, took the tops off. Doesn't have to go down all the way. But look at this. Cows are here for the next 2, maybe 3 days. Then I'm gonna come through and do the same thing that I did here and over there in that paddock, here, all the way around 30 acres. And sure, it might take me some time to do, but you know what? I have the time to do it. We're just gonna go behind every day, take care of half an acre, and we're good. Little bit every day, little bit every day. That's how you win. That's how you become good at something. That's how you make the place look like this the whole time. Consistency a little bit every day. Consistency, consistency, consistency. That's all it is. That's all it is. And here's a view from the top of the paddock going up the hill. Look at that. Look how pretty that looks. See? Goat weed there, green grass there, eating grass, no goat weed here. We're partners, huh, Betty? You always come over when I'm filming. You always come over. We're partners. You guys trample some of it, I'll take care of the rest, okay? Good deal? I think so. So that is our plan to get rid of the goat weed, woolly croton, sheep weed, whatever you want to call it. You know what? It's working. People might think I'm crazy. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna work. So with that, I think me and Betty here are gonna sign off. Hit that subscribe button down below, ring the notification bell so you can get notified when we put up new videos. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and then drop a comment if you like, all right? Until next time, see ya. Bye. You happy, Betty? You like that fresh green grass?